Alright, chances are if you think of rich people, one person probably pops to the front of your mind pretty quickly, and that's Elon Musk. The man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and a couple other things. And today we're going to talk about the time that he ended up making $36 billion in a single day, which, is just a little chunk of change, something tiny. I'm getting quiet now, laying low when you reach zone, piping out, making out, stack the bread. Alright, so like I said, we are going to get to Elon making $36 billion in a day, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about Elon's story, how he got here, all that good stuff. Elon Musk was born June 28th in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, and he grew up there until he moved to the United States in 2002. He basically became an entrepreneur at that point, was part of the PayPal Mafia group that founded PayPal and has spiraled out a bunch of billionaires since, and recently became the founder of SpaceX, the CEO of Tesla, and the CEO of The Boring Company. And as of December 2021, which, is a little over 10 days ago now, he had a record net worth of $280 billion, which makes him the richest person in the world. To talk a little bit more about that PayPal Mafia thing and just where the beginning of his wealth comes from, he's one of the co-founders of PayPal, which I'm sure at this point literally everybody has heard of, along with a couple other people like Peter Thiel, Luke Nosek, and Max Levchin. They ended up creating PayPal in December of 1998 in Palo Alto, California. And as the company continued to do better and maintain more and more of a market share in the electronic payment sector, the wealth of everybody involved in the founding of the company started to go bonkers. And by the time that the company reached its, substantial trading volume IPO days in the early 2000s, Elon Musk ended up cashing out a little over $1 billion. And you would think at that point that you'd probably calm down and be like, whatever, I got $1 billion in my pocket, I'm just gonna hang out for a bit. And most people would, but not Elon. In fact, one of the things that he did after that was found the company SpaceX, which obviously is a pretty cool company. Anytime you start sending rockets up into space, you're doing something pretty cool. And a lot of these rockets are very, very impressive because it was the first time ever that somebody was able to launch, orbit, and recover a spacecraft and also have vertical takeoff and landing. So he literally came in after innovating with PayPal and started a company that has innovated the entire space industry. In fact, it's the only first private company, to have sent astronauts to the International Space Station. A lot of people think that Elon founded Tesla, and he was actually a co-founder of the original group. Since then, the other co-founders have left, and he's now the CEO. And this car company has gone absolutely bonkers. They have crazy popularity to the point where, I live on the west coast in Nevada, the factories up north. We'll see Teslas all the time out here. And as for Tesla, the company overall, the idea was thought of in 2003, and it was, made to actually prove a point. The point that Elon Musk wanted to prove was that they shouldn't have to compromise in order to drive an electric car and save the environment, and wanted to prove that electric cars could also be cool, because at the time they were kind of these lame little dinky things. And this all culminated in 2008 when he ended up launching the Roadster, which was one of the first real sports cars, I'm air quoting here, that you could get in an electric platform. And that really helped put the company on the map. And since then, Tesla's obviously become a publicly traded company, which means it has the ability to make a crap ton more money than it ever would as a private enterprise. And since Tesla has gone public, it's been on an absolute tear. That's where a huge majority of Elon Musk's wealth has come from. Don't get it twisted, he's made $1 billion in a few ways, but a couple hundred of those billion have been from Tesla. And obviously, the last couple years have been incredible for Elon Musk's net wealth. It's been going up as Tesla stock has surged at the same time. But the day that he ended up making $36 billion in a 24-hour period was in October 2021. And it was the day that Hertz, which is the rental car company, probably one of the biggest rental car companies in the United States, ended up announcing that they were ordering 100,000 Tesla cars. Obviously, an order of this magnitude was going to make Tesla a lot of money. And on top of that, with record-breaking sales from, private consumers, it was just it was butter on the bread that was already like a fantastic performing stock. And when news broke that they were going to be selling 100,000 Teslas to Hertz, the Tesla stock pumped, and it ended up increasing Elon Musk's net worth by $36.2 billion in just one day. And what's wild about that is you would think that was the thing that finally catapulted him into first place on the world's richest list, but he had actually maintained that rank already. It just put him further ahead. So, the day that he ended up making close to $40 billion in a 24-hour period was also after he had already become the richest person on the planet. This tends to be whenever you hear crazy numbers about people, making hundreds of millions, billions in a day, it tends to be stock related, whether that's an initial public offering where the company is listed for the first time, or just, the company doing very well. Obviously, the stock market allows you to reach multiples on wealth that you never would be able to a private company. A private company, if you were to sell it to another private business, depending on the industry, you might get 3-5 years of future earnings for it. But the stock market allows you to have multiples of years and years ahead in your business. For example, if you take a look at Tesla, it has a PE ratio, which is how many years it would have to earn money at its current rate to be worth what it is now. And because Tesla's an electric car company, which is predicted to have a lot of growth, it's actually got a 300 earning multiple, meaning that Elon Musk's net worth is a little over 300 years of Tesla producing and making money at its current rate, which is what allows his net worth to be so high. The multiples that the stock market opens up really does quite a bit to make the numbers look way bigger. And as for how much money Elon Musk makes a second due to the fact that he owns all these Tesla shares that are always fluctuating in value and have been going up, if you ended up averaging it out, it ends up becoming that Elon Musk makes $22,500 every minute. So in the span of watching this video so far that's about to cross the 8-minute mark, Elon Musk has managed to rake in a pretty handsome $180,000. Nothing to snuff at, that's a pretty good yearly salary, a really impressive yearly salary that he just busted out in the amount of time that it took you to watch this video. And if you break that down even further into seconds, it comes out to a little over $370 a second, varying in that range. So in the amount of time that it takes you to stand up and go open the door, that takes you 4 seconds, Elon Musk has made over $1,000. He's at the point where dropping a $100 bill is not worth his time or energy to bend over and pick up anymore, because he just made about 4 more of them in the amount of time since. Obviously, the problem with a lot of this is if he sold all the Tesla stock, the value would fall. So it's not like he's really got $280 billion just sitting in an account that he can spend. But regardless, your net worth increasing $375 every second is crazy, crazy impressive. To put it more into perspective, Elon Musk would be able to buy one of his Model 3s, the cheapest Tesla, every 2 minutes. So he alone could probably place enough Tesla orders to keep them in business forever. As for the specific day where he earned $36 billion, if you look at just that day in a vacuum, if you calculate that day per second, it comes out to a little over $400,000 per second on that particular day. So, on that day, he was having himself a pretty good time. That's an insane number to think about. That is literally the yearly salary of the president per second on a particular day. That level of wealth is just impossible to fathom. I can't even put my mind around it. But regardless, that's going to do it for the video. We were talking about Elon Musk, covered the story from him being born, all that good stuff, co-founding PayPal, creating SpaceX, Tesla, all that good stuff, and the man that managed to make $36.2 billion in a single day. So regardless about how you feel about him, there's the information on that. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. I would really appreciate it. And if you like videos like this, subscribe, turn on notifications. I post every day. You don't want to miss out. Stock market news will be back tomorrow. I just had some stuff going on the last 2 days, so I decided to make videos like this instead. If you want to be an absolute G, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the intro song down below, along with the link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cask, or, of course, you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. It's a great way to get a discount on G Fuel. Help me out in the meantime. I would appreciate it. And last but not least, the last link in the description is going to be a link to my merch store. So if you want to go ahead and pick out a t-shirt, I'd really appreciate it. And not to be biased, but it definitely is the coolest merch to ever exist. And yeah, on that note, guys, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.